So this is the 17th of February turn. Interesting developments again. If you remember, Lang was the first activation of this turn, and they were actually situated up here at Spetler. CCC were in position probably sort of in between those two groups of shoot troops that you can see there. Lang obviously chose not to engage them since they had orders to go down to Kasserine, so basically just bypassed. Only got one activation, but got themselves sort of nicely in position around Kasserine. So yeah, it has created quite a situation, obviously, because the success of the Germans getting to that position first has given them quite a good jumping off point, ready for the big chit draw on the 19th, where they actually find out what their objectives are. And as it stands, I suppose they're looking at having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they've got 5 victory points held already. But yeah, that was the first jump, was Lang. Apart from that, I don't know if the order particularly did that much. CCA down here tried to pull back a little bit. Interestingly, because of the movement of the German formations, CCA were actually able to create an MSR again, sort of tracking down this road all the way down here and then along to Thelt. So I had placed CCA's combat trains in Thelt. Sadly, the arrival of DAC, as you can see there, kind of put a crimp in that. But it does mean that the MSR-1 was taken off briefly, although I didn't allow the reinforcement to come in because of the sequencing. But yes, pretty much a non-event really there for CCA, and in fact for Shoot, because, Stenkoff. Stenkoff, I think, failed on a second activation and only got a partial on his first, which meant they didn't even really get into contact again. So that was the end of that. And then kind of in behind them, if you like, you can see now that City Buzid is now unoccupied apart from a combat train. That was Gerhard pulling out. So that was that kind of end of that. If we go up this road, so back along to Spetler and then back up, we can kind of see, well, there's CCC, they pulled back as per their orders. They did come within an ace of being destroyed by Shoot, to be fair. I believe that all that's left is one step of mech infantry. The tanks have gone, so CCC took quite a hammering. Had to move the combat trains back as well, obviously. And there we have the first set of reinforcements coming in, this Bieber, 34th Infantry. And then if we track back up, you see right on the entry hex, that's First Guards, and First Guards again, spectacular roll, a fail. So they didn't get any more fatigue, but they didn't get anywhere, and they should have been coming hurtling down this road, because I think they've got slightly better mobility than the 34th Infantry. But yes, disappointing from the Allies there. And again, if we pull back over here, all the way down past Kasserine, down to here. Now, this is a huge thing, I think, because obviously Stark is key to the placement of the mines which happened this turn. And realistically, I would have thought the Allies want those mines to be in here to help in the defence around the Kasserine Pass. But because of the activities of Riem again, and the fact that they made it to Kasserine first and then blocked the route for Stark, I've simply ended up deploying them here, which probably means Stark's going to be in a good, strong position to cover Buchepka. He's also gone into prep def. He did lose a unit as part of the retreat. I think the tanks and the Aufklärungs caught up with the other part of that engineer unit, so they've gone. But not much else happened kind of over here. I think as well, but they've pretty much just dug in again, prep def. No, there's a mistake. I've actually pushed one of the Welvet units too far forward for the... I'll just adjust that. I think when I've sort of spotted that, he would have to go... Yeah, so if I just put that headquarters further forward, he now covers both of those with his command range. But that's Welvet kind of in position, and again holding that end of the pass. So there's another 2 victory points there. You can see here in the middle, Tebessa, those ones currently are undefended. It was a poor turn in terms of activations. And you can see here, although I have pushed CCB a little bit further forward again, I don't want to get overexposed, so the armour came forward a little bit, but the mech have held on to the victory points back there. Obviously, just down the road are Ream, and we don't know what they're going to do. I'm not sure if I mentioned the weather. Did I mention the weather? It had rained, so there was no air points, and I think again in terms of replacement points, it was pretty poor. So that's the 17th, and it's only one more day, and then the day after that one we draw for the victory points for the Axis.